This tutorial demonstrates how to quickly find an invoice or a group of invoices using the filter controls in the invoice lookup list. I'll be working on the mobile side of iForgeAhead for this tutorial, but these techniques are basically the same on the full screen side as well. Starting from the home screen, we'll click on Invoices to get to the lookup list. I want to point out that when you first come into the lookup list, there is already a filter applied, so this list may not include all of your invoices in the system when you first come in. The default filter that is applied initially is to only include invoices for the last 6 months. The reason for that is that when you have hundreds or even thousands of invoice records within iForgeAhead, if you get to the lookup list without any kind of filter on it, the system will need to take time to retrieve information about every invoice in the system. Of course, you'll be able to get access to any of your older invoices using the filter controls that we're going to explore here. On the mobile side of the system, just above the list itself, you'll see a link that says Filter the List. We'll click that, which will take us to the controls we'll use to set the criteria for the invoice we're looking for. If you are using these techniques on the full screen side of iForgeAhead, these controls appear automatically in your action panel to the left side of the lookup list. The different criteria you can use to narrow the list is client. You can select invoices for a specific client. You can use a date range criteria using these controls. You can also select to include only invoices that are finalized or only those that are non-finalized, or either. And the same options apply to paid invoices, so you can include only paid or unpaid or both. One handy technique is to use this criteria and once in a while to select non-finalized invoices. Once you've selected a criteria, you'll click the Apply Filter button. If you are working on the full screen side of the system, you do not need to click a button. Once your selections are made here, the list is rebuilt automatically. We'll click this button, and now we're seeing a list of all invoices in the system which have not been finalized. This can help you keep track of which invoices you have open. We can return to the filter criteria, and to quickly reset the filters to their default, you can use this button here. That will change it back to how it was when we initially came into the list. Now let's look for invoices for a specific client by selecting them from this drop-down list. We'll click Apply Filter, and now we have the invoices for this client only in the date range that was already set. If we want to see beyond that date range, we can return to the criteria controls, and you can change the date range using these controls here. You can click in the box and type a new date, or you can select one from the drop-down calendar. Just make sure that your first date is always earlier than the second date, and that's a range of dates that you're looking for. Finally, you'll notice that you have a checkbox here that says All Dates. If that's clicked, then the system is going to ignore the dates that are in these boxes. So the way this screen is now, we're going to look for all invoices for this client. We'll click the button, and now the system has returned that information to us. That concludes this tutorial on quickly finding invoices using the filter controls. Thank you.